Good evening, Red Star Rebels. Today is November 7th, 2022. This is Season 2, podcast number 32, our last podcast before 2020 midterms. We are Red Star Report. I'm Hal G. Lohr, coming to you complete with active COVID-19. Yeah, my own little Halloween trick that I assure you is no treat. Anyway, yeah, this is Voices for the California Nation. So, just to put your minds at ease, tonight I'm not going to tell you how to vote. Nice, right? If you would still like a California Independence Movement-based voting guide, I would direct you to the California National Party Quick Reference Guide at californianational.party. That's californianational.party. Look for their quick reference guide for propositions. And just to make that super easy, we'll include the link below because California National Party, right? On the other hand, if you would prefer another lefty unity slate website, Red Star Report can recommend going to the Peace and Freedom Party website or to the Green Party website, and I bet you'll find very similar voting guides there. Either way, Red Star Rebels, I would strongly advise that at this point in time you take a deep breath. For better or worse, after tomorrow's vote, the sun will rise, the world will turn, and California will still be a nation state in a grossly dysfunctional America. Whether the Democrats manage to hold on to the U.S. House and Senate, prolonging America's march to Christo-fascist right-wing conservative rule for another 2 years, or not. Closer to home, of course, there's Prop 26 and 27, both of which really hinge around California's keeping its agreements with California's indigenous tribes, and Proposition 1, which will enshrine the rights of California women to keep control over their own bodies. So yes, tonight, take a deep breath. And by all means, vote. And to all our California National Party and Left Unity slate candidates, Red Star Report wishes you the best of luck tomorrow. We're counting on you. This is Voices for the California Nation. For our first segment tonight, Red Star Report would like to go to Activism in Action with Shankar Singam as he discusses the topic that we who created Red Star Report have been talking about for the last 5 years. American Civil War 2.0. Funny. We were told over and over again to shut the fuck up about this stuff by everybody in the CIM at some point in time or another, I think. Well, now they're talking about it on MSNBC and CNN and Fox News virtually every day, virtually every hour. So just like the meme, I guess Red Star Report has to honestly be engaged in this most unsatisfying I told you so of all time. With that in mind, let's go over to Shankar.
Folks, this is California.
Thank you, Hal. Welcome to another episode of Activism in Action. Let's get right into it, folks. Again, I don't mean to be Fox News here and be the bearer of bad news constantly, but folks, you've got to know this. And what I've been finding out the past couple weeks, really no surprise. And I have been telling you stuff that happens before the shit even hits the fan. I've told you about January 6th. I told you who was in January 6th. So let me get into this. We're coming off of the second assassination attempt of the Speaker of the House of the United States. Second assassination attempt on Nancy Pelosi. Coming off the heels of that, we have an election coming up with probably the participation needed for the left to win is minimal, meaning we don't have the numbers to win. In fact, I'm willing to bet that we're going to lose some blue states this election. I'm willing to bet that. And the states that the blue does win, they are in it for the fight of their lives, because all of those campaigns, those elections are going to be challenged by the MAGA army, and they have been working hard, folks. They have put MAGA trolls into positions of power in Secretary of State, everything from Secretary of State all the way down to dog catcher, for crying out loud. City council, school boards, commissioners, county officials, state officials, all the way on up to state attorney. And they are in position, ready to block elections in pure fascist ideology fashion, right? Right now, they are planning this civil war. They are planning the civil war if they lose this election, this run, because this 2022 run is only practice for 2024 when Air Trump comes back as God willed it. They're planning a civil war right now, folks. You have Trump operatives running for office, if not already in office. You have January 6 participants. The FBI has arrested 900 of them. 435 of them are have pleaded guilty. The rest haven't pleaded because they don't think they've done anything wrong. You've got the whole MAGA base thinking that they have done nothing wrong, and they have a book that they're all reading called the Patriots Bible, which is fueling this whole thing. You have Michael Flynn, General Michael Flynn, retired general from the U.S. military, leading this MAGA army. You have Steve Bannon, who just embezzled millions of dollars from MAGA idiots. He just got 4 months in prison. Big fucking deal for Steve Bannon. You've got the leaders and the propagandists of January 6th walking around free still. You've got all the Republican senators now supporting it in positions of power. Folks, the right wing is poised to take over this fucking country. If you can't see it, you're fucking blind. Half the left does not even vote. They're not even participating in this next vote. I see the only way out. The only way out of this is independence. God damn it. California is the last beacon of any progressive ideology there is in the country, and it cannot be part of this fascist fucking mess that the United States is in. And any defense by the left that they put up against the right wing, even if violent or whatnot, Joe Biden will be first to condemn these leftist extremists first before condemning anybody on the right, because he's a fucking fascist pig too. There hasn't been a leftist president ever in the United States. Let's get that straight. This election is a no-show, folks. People aren't showing up to this one. The left is going to lose this one in great fashion and get a beating. And rightfully, delightfully so, maybe. They're up against the MAGA army, the QAnon army, the Pizzagate armies, the anti-Hillary armies. I mean, these people are the idiots in the country, the morons. They can't think logically to put two statements of facts together and just to figure out the truth. It's beyond their capabilities. So, and I've been chiming this on and on again, folks, and I don't know what California is going to do, but if California does not become independent, go and purchase a firearm. Period. You're going to need it. Period. That's all I got, Hal. Back to you, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Shankar. More on this topic, I'm sure, after the midterms are over. Stay tuned. Just in case you're not having fun yet and are wondering what the next shoe to drop will be from this fascista partisan United States Supreme Court, we have a new independent commentary with Red Star Report contributor David Gregory. Oh, and you're going to love this.
I wonder, what do we do if Moore v. Harper goes the wrong way and SCOTUS validates the independent legislature theory, which will essentially lock the Democrats out of the White House position forever? And I know a lot of you who don't follow that are unaware of that, but that's on the agenda. So I think it's important to discuss what to do and what it is if that goes the wrong way. So with no more Democratic presidencies, there will be no more liberal justices to the Supreme Court. You will only have conservative justices from here on out. Because states would be able to select the winner of an election, your vote would not count anymore. So, not to get too deep into the realm of political theory, our consent is gone. We are no longer governed by consent. We're watching the death of the democracy here, death of our republic as we watch, and to me it's like watching a slow motion nightmare. So what if it goes the wrong way? What do we do? At that point, I would say I would go to your regional strong points. So if you are somewhere in the West, I would go to the West Coast if you were a liberal mind. I wouldn't stay in places that were purple states, and I wouldn't stay in places that were red states. I would go somewhere. California, Washington, Oregon. You get what I'm saying? Or I would go to New York, Chicago area, to regional places where you have a lot of allyships. Because you won't have a democracy anymore. You only have resistance. And because your resistance politically has been taken away through the democratic means, you're left with few options.
That's right. The Supreme Court is hearing Moore versus Harper to decide the validity of independent state legislature theory. This is partisan gerrymandering claims are just not in the purview of the federal courts, which would mean that federal courts, particularly in red states, have no jurisdiction over gerrymandering or any other form of political redistricting, allowing red states to draw political lines any way they want. what could possibly go wrong? Because at that point, so much for American democracy. Before we go, let's try to end on a positive note. A little California history to give you something to celebrate and maybe even raise a glass to. Because most people don't know this, but today is an important day in California history. You see, in 1836, then California Governor Juan Bautista Alvarado vowed to gain autonomy for California from Mexican rule with either bullets or words. And on the night of November 3rd, in Monterey, the capital of Alta California, a revolutionary army commanded by Jose Castro and Juan Alvarado took possession of the fort where a company of officers and soldiers commanded by a newly appointed Mexican puppet governor were quartered. These Mexican forces signed documents of surrender at 8 a.m. on November 5th. And on this day, the 7th of November, 186 years ago today, California revolutionaries took formal possession of California's capital at Monterey. That morning, Juan Bautista Alvarado proclaimed California independent from Mexico as he hoisted a white flag with a single centered red five-pointed star. This was done with great celebration and resounding vivas to the Federation, to liberty, and to free and sovereign California. Viva California. And Red Star Report will see you after the midterms. So as always, for more Red Star Report information, check out our website at redstarreport.com. Subscribe to our Red Star Report YouTube channel. Go to our Red Star Report Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Because if you want to support the real California Independence Movement Media Group, it's all about the algorithms. Our thanks to you, all our Red Star Rebels, for watching. We are Red Star Report.